Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube NFL predictions segment, I'm going to be dissertating talking about the predictions for Week 15 of the 2013-14 NFL season. Well, let me get started. On the first game, Denver Broncos, there's not enough superlatives to describe this team. They got the leading NFL quarterback passer as far as yards thrown per game, Peyton Manning. Number one in total and scoring offense. They're playing the San Diego Chargers. They are at home. Denver is awesome at home. I'll take the Broncos. Next game, I'm going to take the Atlanta Falcons at home over the Washington Redskins. Yes, both teams are floundering, but Washington is not going to have R.G. Griffith, to my understanding, and Atlanta will have their starting quarterback. They will be at home. The last four games, I mean, the Washington really has just not, really has been anemic. I mean, averaging like 12 points per game roughly in the last four, and offense can't do anything. The whole team is is disheveled right now. Who knows what Mike Shanahan's future is going to be. So we'll go with the Atlanta Falcons at home. Well, the next game to talk about is going to be, I'm going to take the Chicago Bears on the road over the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns have done some nice things this year. They look like they're improved. They're more competitive in their games. They did everything but beat a stellar New England team last week. They had a miraculous comeback by the Patriots to derail a possible victory against them. Over them. Josh Gordon for the Browns is the leading NFL receiver as far as yards per game at 1,400. But Chicago, they're playing for a division title right now. I know they're on the road. Their second-string quarterback has really played very well, and maybe he'll even overtake Jay Cutler as starting QB at some point. And I think Chicago is just a little better team. I'm going to take the Bears on the road. Next game, I'm going to take the Indianapolis Colts at home over the Houston Texans. Now, Houston is another floundering team. They've lost 11 straight. They've given up at least 27 points on defense in 5 of their last 6 games. Indy has not exactly looked stellar over the last 3. They're 1-2 in their last 3 games. In those games, they've given up 96 points, averaging 32 points given up per game in those 3. But Indianapolis hopes to see some momentum going into the postseason. They've already clinched the division title, but I don't expect them to be complacent or lay down. I think they'll pick up this week against an abysmal Houston team. Now the next game, I'm going to take New England Patriots on the road. No shocker there. Don't be flabbergasted, people. I'll take them on the road over the Miami Dolphins. Patriots are something like 21-3 in their last 24 against their AFC East opponents. It's been sheer domination. Miami has improved this year. I expect it to be competitive, but I'm going to take the Patriots in this one, maybe in a competitive game. Well, the next game, I'm going to take the Philadelphia Eagles on the road over the Minnesota Vikings. Philadelphia boasts the number one rusher in their league, LaShawn McCoy. They're number 1 in rushing yards per game. They've won their last 5. They've been on a rampage. They've won their last 7 of 9. Playing very well. Minnesota has shown signs of life in recent weeks. They look like they've been playing a little bit better. They did everything but beat a fairly tough Baltimore Ravens team. They're next to last though in scoring defense. I think Philadelphia they get their ground game going. It's going to be over for Minnesota. I'm taking the Eagles on the road. Next game, I'm going to take the Seattle Seahawks on the road over the New York Giants. Seattle is number 1 in opposition passing yards allowed. Their defense is awesome. Cornerbacks are great. They lost a heartbreaker to the 49ers on the road. This is a vastly improved road team. I think they're going to get the number 1 spot in the NFC, and really I think they're going to make it to the Super Bowl this season. Giants, they are at home. Giants are playing a little bit better during the second half of the season. However, they're 16th in passing yards per game. Not great. And they got to go against one of the best defenses in the league. Not going to happen. Seattle on the road. Next game, I'm going to take the San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco had a rough start early this year, but they've won 8 of their last 10. 2 of their losses were very tight games, very competitive. They lost by 1 point to Carolina. Then they had another heartbreaker. Tampa Bay has shown signs of improvement in recent weeks, but I still believe 49ers, should win this one fairly decisively. Next game, I'm going to take the Jacksonville Jaguars at home over the Buffalo Bills. Jacksonville, the resurgent Jaguars. I didn't know if I'd be using those two words in the same sentence. They've won 4 of their last 5. They're still last in scoring offense in the NFL. However, Buffalo has not been playing great. Buffalo has to go on the road, and they couldn't beat Tampa Bay on the road. I don't think they're going to go into Jacksonville and beat them on the road. Next game, I'm going to take Kansas City on the road over the Oakland Raiders. Yes, divisional game, might be close. Kansas City is 7-1 versus teams under 500. I think it'll be 8-1 after this game. I think Kansas City got a little rejuvenated last week after losing 3 in a row. They completely dismantled the Washington Redskins. I think I could see something similar happening in this game, although it's a divisional game. It's at Oakland. I think Kansas City still wins fairly decisively, though. Next game, I'm going to take the Carolina Panthers at home over the New York Jets. Carolina, they didn't have a great game last week. However, they went into one of the toughest buildings to play at New Orleans. I think I can give them a little pass on that. They are second total defense, number 1 in scoring defense. The defense has really been relentless. I mean, you take out that last game against New Orleans, the second half of the season, the defense has really been outstanding. New York Jets, yeah, they beat Oakland by 10 points at home last week. Other than that, the last 4 or 5 weeks, they've really been terrible. I'm going to take Carolina at home. Next game, I'm going to take the Dallas Cowboys at home over the Green Bay Packers. It's dubious Rodgers is going to play for Green Bay. Dallas is still trying to make the postseason, and they still have hopes of a division title. Dallas seems to vacillate. They'll be good one week. They won't, look like they can't do anything the next. I see Dallas rebounding at home against the Green Bay Packers. I'll take the Cowboys at home. Next game. A lot of points to Arizona beating the Tennessee Titans on the road. However, I'm going to take Tennessee at home. I think they're due to win one at home. They've lost 4 consecutive games at home. The last 2 were by a combined 5 points. Could have gone either way. I feel that Tennessee still has enough in them to get a home win in this game against Arizona. Arizona is improved. Their defense is good. I know they got great receivers with Fitzgerald and company, but the Titans are due to win at home, and I think they'll get this one. Next game, I'm going to take the New Orleans Saints on the road over the St. Louis Rams. The Saints got a plethora of offensive weapons. They've averaged over 26 points per game. St. Louis, their defense is, some games looks great, other games maybe not so great. They have 12 INTs on the year. They do have some people that can, have some playmakers on that team. But at the same time, I think it's going to be too much offense from the Saints, and it's going to overpower the Rams. So I'll take the Saints on the road. Next game, I'm going to take the Bengals on the road over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers had dominated the Bengals in recent years up until the last 2 games. Cincinnati has taken the last 2. Pittsburgh's only scored 10 points per game in those two, combined 20 points in the last two against the Bengals. You know, Pittsburgh is not deplorable. They actually can be competitive. They're not the dominant team they once were. However, Cincinnati, is playing for, to win this division, and I think they can get this game, even though it's on the road. Steelers, it's a divisional rival. Be competitive, but I think the Bengals pull this one out on the road. Last but not least, I'm going to take the Detroit Lions at home over the Baltimore Ravens. The Detroit Lions, they've kind of struggled in recent weeks a little bit. They didn't really play a great game against the Eagles. However, the Eagles are beating just about everybody in recent weeks. Baltimore has been on a little bit of a rampage. They've won 4 of their last 5. But only one of those wins in those 4 games that they won in their last 5 were against a team with a winning record. Got to go to Detroit this week, game on the road. Detroit is trying to play for a division title. I think and understand Baltimore is playing for their playoff lives. Detroit, on virtue of being at home, I'll take them in this one. Well, people, that will conclude this YouTube NFL prediction segment for Week 15 of the 2013-14 NFL season. And stay tuned next week, where I will be giving my analysis and predictions for Week 16 of the 2013-14 NFL season. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.